hump day. It is, yay. Well, it's been a whirlwind week for me, so I don't even know what day it is, but I'm glad to be here and glad to share the stats with everybody today. We have a great 10 minutes of tips toward the end, so it should be a really, really good show. We've got some days of inventory going down a little bit, but it's around 30 month to date. We're selling, 128 homes a day, so that bumped up. And year to date, though, we're selling 142 homes. And when I look back on the data, that really is because, March, April, May, June, July were bonkers. I think one month we did 158 a day. So that's what makes these numbers the way they are. They're averages. Anyway, we have listed 21 homes yesterday, 400 and under, out of the 54 that you all listed, the single family homes. You listed 10 condos and 7 townhomes for a total of 71 homes and townhomes listed yesterday. You put 106 under contract, so that's really good. And we closed 77. So that puts us at around, the 26, 29 days of inventory. Year to date, it would be 26, but then again, that's skewed a little bit because we had such robust months there for 3 or 4 months. So I like to use the month to date inventory days. So we have about a month. So we'll go with that one. And we've sold 3,337 homes so far this month. Wow. That's what makes the 128 home sales a day. Last year, we did 123 home sales a day. So last year was a little less, even though the median price was less. So that's something to take a note of. The median price right now is $407,000. And if it's looking to, like I take off the million plus homes, that averages out at $400,000. So whichever way you look at it, the home prices now are more expensive than they were last year, but we're still selling more homes. So that should be something that you all think about on the good side of things, right? Let's see, the non-owner occupieds. We're going to talk a little bit about those later, but they are buying 44 homes a day. So you need to keep that number in your mind as we get to the tip part of our show today. They're doing about, if we're selling 128 and they're doing 44, they're doing about 32% of our market share. So, but we need rentals. The interest rates are still hanging in there for everybody's ability to buy a home at a reasonable payment, buying the payment, not the price. And that's my message to one of our agents. He was saying, oh my gosh, this house is $600,000 and maybe I only want to pay $590. And I said, no. The $10,000, when you look at it that's on a daily basis, that's hardly anything. And I said, you don't wait to buy real estate. You buy real estate and wait, because it always changes and generally goes up, right? But then if it goes down, it goes back up again. And that's historical. And I don't see it changing because of all the other factors that are going on in the United States today, and the economy and everything that's happening. So people need a place to live. People are moving here. People are retiring. People are first-time home buyers are starting to buy. Millennials are looking to move out of the house, get their own home. They may be in their own home but need to move now because guess what? They're going to have a baby, or they want puppies, or they want kittens, or they want something. So this market isn't going to change anytime soon. So anyway, let's talk about the new home market for a little bit. Here we go. All right, the new home market in Las Vegas area. We have sold 10,895 homes, and this was as last month. So that look at when we haven't sold that many homes. In 2008, when the market was selling, it was really hot. That year we didn't sell that many. So it's really robust market here for the new homes. And obviously the median closing price is around $417, they say. And that's without upgrades. So then people go in and they do their pools and their landscaping and all those other things. So you have to keep that in mind when you're talking to people about buying a new home, of course. And let's see what else we have here. So when you look at where things are happening, the red, let me change the picture a little bit so that we can look at, there we go. Okay, so anyway, here you go with the red is the hot spots where most of the new homes are selling. So it's a good idea if you all know all these builders and what they're offering. And there's a development or two maybe that are just selling to first-time home buyers. And you should probably check that out. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you this morning. There you are. Hey, Karen. Yeah, I'm noticing there's a lag in the platform. I don't know if there's just so many people using the internet that makes a difference. I don't know. Let me make sure. Let's see. No, my Wi-Fi is off, so it's not interfering. And I'm sure, Karen, you can hear me or you tell me, but I'm going to do a quick check anyway because we like to know that we can. Come on. Why does it change? Facebook is something, isn't it? No. Come on. I have to do a check. Make sure. Okay, here we go. Just make sure everybody can hear me. Okay, you can. Very good. Down you go. Okay, so it's a good thing if you know all about these new home developments because they represent a big part of our market right now, probably 25%. Oh, thank you. Everybody can hear me. Good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so now let's go on to the next slide here. So would you believe that I love this, and this is something that you should share with your buyers perhaps, or I don't know. It can go either way, right? Summerlin is number 3 on the top 25 top selling master plan communities, and that it used to be number 1, but it looks like Florida is taking over the top 2 positions with Lakewood Ranch. I'm not familiar with that in Sarasota. Sarasota's a beautiful place. And then the Villages. The Villages is, if it isn't a Del Webb Pulte community, it is similar. And it's, the Villages is just what it says. It's older people having fun together, doing activities, and people that don't have to work, right? And they're playing golf, they're playing all types of fun things, and Florida is a beautiful place. And then number 3 is Summerlin. Yay, number 3 in the top 25 master plan communities in the United States. Summerlin is number 3. And number 6 is Valley Vista, and that is in North Las Vegas. And then you have number 11 is Inspirada, and Cadence is number 13, and Skye Canyon is number 23. So those are some astounding numbers to me that we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 master plan communities in Las Vegas that are in the top 25 of the United States. So that's quite something. It is really something. And if you look here, nobody else has that many. I mean, Florida has 2, Florida has 3. California has 2, Colorado only 1, Charleston, South Carolina is a beautiful place. That's number 4. And Texas is number 9. So we're right there. I love it. Okay, moving on here. So the median new home base price. Now we saw what the closings were, and that was 418,000. And now you're looking at 426,000. I know it says 425,945, but I'm rounding it up to 426,000. That is the median new home base price. So like I said, the base price, then you add on your upgrades and the price goes up. So let's move on here. That's some interesting. This is things you have to know. I'll put these also on on the group today. I haven't had time the past week to do much posting on the group, but I'll do that today. Now, the new home price growth. You know, people say, oh my gosh, it's got to change. Well, land price has gone up. I saw where land is now $516,000 an acre. For 1 acre, $516,000. And then the increased cost of labor. Yes, we are paying people more. And then the increased cost of materials, which my puppies, sorry, my puppies are barking. That was B. Be happy. And then now the new single family residential units permitted. This is a number to watch because it needs to continue to increase to meet the demand. And it looks like in 2004, 2005, 2006, even on into, well, I don't think it hit 2000. 82,000 units were permitted. Now in 19, 20, and 21, now you got the pandemic in there, right? So that alters it. It's about 30,000. And I really think that that's reasonable. And again, just because people were buying things they shouldn't have bought back in the 4, 5, and 6, 2004, 5, and 6. And now we have a stabilized market. And yes, the price is going up, but there's nothing you can do about it. The interest rates I think the interest rates have a lot to do with the robust new home market. And we don't see that changing yet. All right, so there we are. And I will put these slides on the group so that you can use them if you need to for your buyers and or your sellers. A lot of interesting information there. So let's go move on here. Now, I have a marketing tip from Tom Ferry, and we're going to watch this and show this in the stream. And then I will, this is fantastic. And there's some really, if you just take notes on this, it's only 10 minutes. It's really, really good information. And if you do just some of these things that Tom Ferry's top producers do, he's a coach, and these are people that he coaches, and they're coming with him on his podcast to really validate the coaching works, what he's doing is working. And I love Tom Ferry. Okay, so I'm going to solo myself off, and then I will do a sound check to make sure that you can all hear. I will mute.
Going to get a little zany, just in case you're wondering. The Brit Bear, you're up, buddy. Move that microphone up, big dog. All right, so tell them who you are, where you're from, why we called you the Brit Bear, and all that good stuff. Go.
Matt Barre from Tucson, Arizona, originally from England. Do you want the real Brit Bear story? The dinner story?
Oh, yes.
No. We'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
All right, go. What do you want to talk about? What's the big idea? What's working? Give us context. How many transactions will you do this year?
On track to do 65.
Okay, so 65 puts you in the top 1 or 2% in your marketplace. Tucson, Arizona,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, pretty big market, right? Lots of activity. So what's the idea you want to share?
So for us, this has been so I'm on a team with my father-in-law. This has been a trial and error thing basically for the last year. We were doing the just listed, just sold postcards, and we noticed that those were just getting thrown straight in the trash, no phone calls. I, at home, mistakenly opened a spam letter, and I opened it because the envelope was hand addressed, and I thought, oh, it's an invitation.
Yes.
Opened it up, boom, want to sell your house? No, get in the trash. So we took that idea to the
You're
office.
like, wait a minute, that was a good idea.
I was like, holy shit, I should probably sell my house.
Yes.
So we took that concept of if we can send out letters instead of the postcards, we might get some more engagement. So we did that. We did the whole, we have a buyer in your area. We tried those letters. Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't get a lot from that, but we noticed we had some plus 55 clients looking to move into plus 55 neighborhoods. Not a lot out there, but we know because we sell and buy in these neighborhoods that there's a lot of non-owner occupieds. Our coach, Jeff Mays, was like, guys, lean into that, create a letter, send the non-owner occupied. So we did. We started sending those out. We started getting instantly great results. very quickly, in fact. So, the letter was kind of a case of, we have a buyer in your area.
Let's back up though. So it's in a nondescript
Yep.
hand address.
Yep, regular
hand
white
stamped,
envelope.
right?
Yep, regular white envelope. We started off handwritten, and then we transitioned to printed.
Yep.
Printed
A
labels.
printed version that looks like it's handwritten or a label.
Just a printed label. We kept it real easy, so just a printed label. So from handwritten to printed label, we basically boiled it down to that each letter was costing about $1.14, including stamps, letter, paper, print, envelope, and hiring somebody to sit there and just stuff envelopes all day. We got it down to about $1.15, $1.14 per letter.
And how many would you send?
So we were targeting one of our active adult community neighborhoods, and we basically sent out 500 letters. But we knew that if this was to blow up, I'm going to get 500 text, or, Tom or Jill would get 500 text. So we would split a neighborhood into thirds. You take some over here, you take this, you take this. We'd have our own letters with our own cell phones and emails and signatures on, and we'd send them out. And the letters started getting the returns. And the great thing was that on the letter, it stated, we know that this is an investment property. If you'd like to capitalize on the market, we can facilitate helping your tenants relocate. We can also upgrade or downgrade with a 1031 exchange here in Arizona or nationally. Let us know. Can you either text me, call me, or email me, yes or no?
That was the best. Did you guys hear that? That was the best. When I read the letter for the first time, I'm like, the fact that you said, can you just let us yes or no?
Yeah.
How many people just text you and say no?
Loads.
Yeah.
Loads.
Yes.
And here's the great thing. So they just say no.
Hold on. I need to interrupt on this. So the other thing that I like about that is you actually made an offer to the non-owner occupied, the absentee owner, that was actually clear and service-based. Like, hey, we'll do this for you. We'll do this for you.
Yeah.
We'll do this for you. And that is where I'm seeing the results with the absentee owner versus the, hey, do you just want to sell?
Yeah.
Give
Or,
me
hey, I got a
call.
buyer.
I got a buyer.
They
You want
wanna
to sell? Give me a call. When they start going, well, what am I going to do about 1031 exchange? What am I going to do about the tenant? And we're not talking about that. And that's why I think that also is working really well.
Yeah.
Nice work.
No, thank you. Yeah, and this is...
All right, what's up, Coach Ball?
Hey, so what? This is all fantastic. And one of the things that we're also seeing, so I have a client in Connecticut, Heather Crabtree. She is doing the same thing. She's also being very specific about her buyer client that's looking for a home. So it's real. It's not generic. So I'm working with the Smiths, and they are looking for 4.3, 2,500 square feet, being very specific at this. Her letters are so dialed in. She's doing 700 letters at a time. And so far this year, she's made over 100,000 GCI just with this one lead source.
Yeah.
So if you get it dialed into your community, you can really, really rock it.
Yeah.
And absolutely lean into
But
it.
again, specificity being the
Exactly.
key, and Patrick's point about it's about making the right offer.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, so let's say you take this community and whether you use Reline or where are you getting your data from?
Title companies for free.
Right, exactly, right? So
Yeah.
have a company, get the data, but you're not mailing to the house, you're mailing to wherever they live.
Exactly,
somewhere in Canada,
Yep.
I'm guessing.
Exactly
right?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they see
No,
you
exactly that.
on
And
Arizona.
Exactly. So we're mailing to their primary residence. We're indicating that we have genuine buyers looking to buy in Saddlebrook HOA 1, Saddlebrook HOA 2, whatever it is. The second part is, would you like to take advantage of this great market where interest rates are still low and, market's still hot? And then the third portion of the letter is if you have tenants, we can facilitate, or would you like to do a 1031 exchange? And then the last bit is, can you let me know either way, yes or no, indifferent? And so I've had text messages at like 9, 10 p.m. at night that just say no. And I'm like,
How do you respond?
so it's a case of, that's great. I appreciate that. As you can understand, I've sent out a few letters. Can you just let me know which address we're talking about? And they'll just write, 123 Nunanuna Street. That response, well, and with that information, now I've got their phone number, I've got their address, I can reverse engineer the name. My follow-up and our follow-up as a team is, as an appreciation for taking the time to let me know either way, would you be against me sending you a market value of your home?
Nice.
And every one of them,
Say it again, in appreciation.
in appreciation of you taking the time to respond, would you be against me sending you a market value update of your home?
And if you had 10 people that said no, what percentage of them say, sure, okay, send me the
Every
value?
one of them.
Why?
Because it's free.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't
Okay,
they?
Mary, jump in.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is how many of these have actually turned into a closed transaction?
Oh, I love that. See, I've got data because I
I
knew you were
love
going to ask
that.
that question.
Good. Thank
we
you.
grilled them on the numbers.
All right.
Give us
So
the breakdown of how many letters have been sent. Do you know the total number of letters sent? And then how many appointments and listings and closings and future listings?
So we started this in February, and this is through end of September. We've sent out 6,350 letters for a total cost of $7,300. Okay. We've closed 8 deals. So took 8 listings and closed them for a GCI of 130,000 and a gross sales volume of over 5 million. We have 3 active listings currently. So total with the active listings closed, that's over $6.5 million of sales volume. And we have 9 listing appointments set.
So these are non-owner occupied, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So the cool thing is you've done something unique to these people. Are you sending those people that didn't respond a follow-up, like, here's what we did?
We are not, but we do put them into HomeBot. So they get their evaluations. We put them into HomeBot, and then there's a strip campaign set up in HomeBot. Now, because we're seeing success of this, actually in our team meeting 2 weeks ago, we're now retargeting the people that say no, saying, listen, I know you're not interested in selling, but your neighbor down the street just sold their home for X. Does that, or has that helped you change your mind?
I love that. One of the things when I was coaching, when my clients sent out an I have a buyer letter and they got a result, like one in particular I can think of, she sent out a I have a buyer letter, 200 of them. 3 people reached out. She ended up putting the deal together. But what happened was she followed up with that, the 200 homeowners, then she sent out a postcard that said, thank you and great news. And she explained that she had 3 people that reached out and they now have a new neighbor because she matched these 2 people up with the home, selling the home and buying the home.
Yeah.
So she got 2 more listings off of that thank you and great
Yeah.
news postcard. So
Yeah.
follow up.
And quite honestly, if you target neighborhoods that you're struggling to get a client to buy into, there's a double side of a deal right there. You know, if
And by the way, like the non-owner occupied listing presentation, how does that go?
it's exactly the same as a regular listing presentation. They oh yeah, absolutely. So those folks that say yes, at that point, give them a call, follow up, set the appointment, go down there. And I can tell you right now, every one of them, the first words out of their mouth is, so do you have a buyer? Well, yeah, we do. We have buyers in this neighborhood. And I'm more than happy to share the property with you. And then it's straight back to, you reached out, you have the intention to sell. Where are you going? What are you looking to do next? And just keep moving down the line.
Have you had any, I own multiple properties, like some of that stuff? So
Yep. So in fact, this happened, you and I were texting and talking about this. So this happened last week, non-owner occupied, again in a plus 55 community. Went down there. He agreed to list right away. His sister has a non-owner occupied, 8 houses down. She no longer wants to travel to Arizona, so she wants to sell that. And then he turned around and said, you know what, we're kind of over the politics of the plus 55 community. I'd like to sell our house and get into another house outside of the community. It says 4 deals
right.
out of one buck letter.
So mistakes to avoid before, as we kind of wrap this up, what advice do you have? Like, hey, make sure you don't do this.
Don't ignore the no's.
Yeah.
I think that's huge. Don't ignore the no's, because so many people, you get a no, it's a case of, well, okay, I'll cross them off the list. But if you can re-engage, give them that piece of value. And again, I've had no's from people who live in other states that say, we're not thinking about selling that house. And I've said, well, can I give you a free evaluation? They've said yes. And then they've asked if they can have a valuation on the home that they're in LA or, wherever.
Right.
And at that point, it's a case of, I can't do that, but I can connect you with somebody who can. So there's so many opportunities if you keep digging into the no's and don't just go straight for the yeses.
So fun fact for everybody listening, 138 million homes in the U.S., 21 million of them are investment properties. And if you look at the data, it's basically north of 10, they're deemed an institutional investor. Everybody else, which is 80% of the properties, are just mom and pop owners of 1, 2, 3, 4, anything less than 10. Mm-hmm. So there's a huge opportunity here, and I love that you're crushing on it.
Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Crushing on it.
Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Can you hear me? Did you hear that? Probably not. Let's see. Hold on. I always forget to unmute it. Hang on. Okay, here. I think you can hear me now. Okay. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can't hear you. Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, it takes my voice away when I do the solo. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, so they hand wrote the letters, the envelopes, putting the address handwritten. And they did that until people got comfortable, right, with what they were doing. Can you hear me now, dear? Give me a yes. I think you can. Let's see. Yeah, you can. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, and then $1.14 per letter, labor, stamps, and materials, non-owner occupied, which they got for free from their title company. That's easy enough, right? And you send it to, you don't send it to the address of what they own. You send it, of course, to their to their regular address where they live. And out of 500 letters, they divided them up. So if you're going to, depending on how big, you might want to just start with 100 or 150 and move up, because they anticipated getting a lot of response, which they did. And in the letter, one of the reasons why they got the response is that they offered a service. It was like a service letter. Like, if you're interested in, selling this home at this time, we can help you with a 1031 tax exchange. We can help relocate your tenant. And with the low interest rates, we can even help you find another home. Maybe something newer, maybe something that maybe doesn't have as much maintenance. And that was always my pitch when I was trying to get an investor to sell the property that they had and move up to a newer property. And in our property management company, I do the same thing. Every day, no fail. And so you offer those services, and then you ask them to reply in an email, or, you want a yes or a no. Would you be interested? And he addressed the no's very perfectly. He said, I really appreciate, that you're responding. And what address is it? Because I did send out quite a few of these, and I just like to, notate that you aren't interested. And of course, they come back and give them the address. So then he follows up with an appreciation, and he says, you know what? I'll send you a free market analysis because you did respond to me and help me keep my database clean. And he said, they always say yes. They always say yes. Sure, send it to me. I mean, why not? Not asking for an appointment or anything like that. Just there you go. And he says, you keep following up with those people, because now a house down the street is going to sell, or over in the same community. And then you can say, oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know that this house just sold for this price, and just want to keep in touch. That's it. So from February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 8 months. 8 months, they did 8 deals. That's a deal a month. They did $130,000 in commissions, and it cost them, they sent out 6,350 letters, and it cost them $7,300, and $130,000 in commissions. So that's the big tip of the day. And I will throw a bonus tip in here for you. If you are sending out the buyer letter, like I have a buyer for your house, videotape the buyer, okay? Put it on a web page, create a QR code, and put that QR code on the letter, and say, if you'd like to meet the buyer, scan the QR code, and you'll hear, his story and how he likes this neighborhood, whatever you want him to say. And it's not going to be rehearsed. It's going to be authentic as possible, but it shows that it's, because I think so many people are doing this now, because you all are looking for homes to sell, your buyers, right? And there's not all those listings out there. So this is something a lot of people are doing. But when you add a QR code, it makes all the difference in the world, because now you're saying, hey, this is for real. And that should get you more engagement. Okay, everybody. Again, this is a great, great tip, step by step, from an actual practitioner that actually did it in 8 months and saw huge success. Again, when you do things that other people aren't doing, then you can wake up happy every day because you know most people aren't going to do it, right? Let me just share with you. See, tomorrow we have a class. Goodbye, Tom. Tomorrow we have a class on ethics. Show me the money. And this is about your commission. So if you go to bee.vegas and you sign up for the class, you can Zoom or you can come to the classroom. We'd love to have you. And then next week, next Wednesday, 1 week from today, we are going to be doing the Attorney General's Online One, which is a law class. And it's Jimmy Dagg's new class, which I keep telling you. Segueing back a little bit to the ethics class, the ethics qualify for the quadrennial. So if you, I get that question a lot. So anyway, you all just have a fantastic day. I will be here tomorrow. It's so good to be back in Vegas and home, and John's doing well, and life is good.